What is your name, sir?
I'm Andrew.
Well, here we are on set of Little Hope, part of the Dark Pictures anthology. Tell me about the characters you play in the game.
Yeah, very exciting. I play Andrew, who is a student on this trip to the town of Little Hope. I also play Anthony and I play Abraham, all existing at different time periods and in different places.
What drew you to the role? What drew you to this game?
I think for me, what drew me to it was the fact that at the core of it was a focus on authenticity as far as the performance was concerned.
Hey, Andrew, buddy, how you doing?
Where are we? What happened?
Yeah, the bus crashed. We're okay, though, just shaken up.
Wait, I don't remember anything. Who are you?
Something that the team behind this project communicated to me from early on was a need to make the relationship between the different characters and their individual arcs feel truly authentic and have us all interact with each other in a very naturalistic way, in a way that would serve the story and make all the horror and the dramatic elements feel real. And that really excited me as an actor. I'd also never done any motion capture, performance work, or anything really like this before, so it was a new challenge too, and it's been really, really fun.
Now, it's not only do you have these different characters and these different accents, you also have this complex branching story, because as the player plays through this game, they can take it any way they want. How is that challenging for you to kind of navigate that as well?
It's fun, you know, because I think having a little bit of experience in movies where ordinarily you just play one outcome and you're responsible for a single path through a storyline, getting the opportunity to play different options and commit to a number of different decisions as opposed to just one has been really enjoyable. To see what your character might have done in a number of different ways and what he might not do in a number of different ways has been really cool. It's been fun to play all the different outcomes and see all those different narrative strands intertwine.
Yeah, because up until now, you've been playing characters that the path has kind of been decided, the one path, and now it's your chance to really go whichever way with it.
Right, 100%, yeah.
Any other things that you've drawn on, any other roles that you've actually drawn on going into this?
I'm not sure, you know, I'm not particularly experienced in the horror genre, or much less, of course, in the gaming world, but the nice thing about this is, you know, as I said, there's been a real emphasis on authenticity and just playing the reality of the situation. I think there haven't been any corny or contrived nods towards the horror genre. It's been about playing the reality of real people thrust into a very scary environment and just reacting naturally to it. And if anything, the dialogue has been designed to deconstruct anything that seems contrived or too thematic, and that's been really cool. And often that provides opportunity for humor too.
I want everyone to stay real close. No stragglers.
You want to put us on a kid's line? Okay, I'm coming.
Yeah, you're talking about the story and how it's really, you know, genuine, and because there's some basis a little bit in history and the Salem witch trials. Were you familiar with that story going into the game?
Not so much, to be honest with you, but that's been really interesting. Laced within the story is some really, really interesting information about the Salem witch trials and about the history of that area. And with John, you were afforded the opportunity to learn about this because he is a professor and he does have a organic knowledge of these things.
You got an explanation for what we saw?
Nothing that makes sense. I do know there were witch trials in Little Hope around the same time as Salem.
He's able to feed us tidbits that help us contextualize some of the stuff we're coming into contact with.
Yeah, you walk away learning a whole bunch of new stuff, and
there you go. It's an education across the board for me, this job. I'm like learning how to do all sorts.
Any favorite scenes that you've worked on so far?
I felt for you because you did come on an incredibly intense day.
There's a lot of
just screaming and screaming and dying. You came on the screaming and dying day. There has been, you know, a lot of fun had on this set too. I think as an antidote to the intense nature of some of the material and the amount of horror and gore and death, we have found it important to kind of laugh and joke around with each other too. And a lot of the banter and the conversation that exists amongst the students and John, the professor, is kind of quite humorous. Angela, played by Ellen, is a hilarious character and she regularly keeps us all laughing.
Serious, James? You're drunk. What a surprise!
And that's meant that the project as a whole is really well balanced. Of course, there's authentic drama and there's a genuine sense of dread and horror, but there's also some really funny dialogue, and there's been a chance to play the comedy too, which I've enjoyed.
That looks bad. I hope Taylor is okay.
Taylor will be just fine. Girl has a knack for getting out of trouble. I know Taylor can be demanding, selfish, quarrelsome, and small-minded, but other than that, she's a real babe.
Hey, it's Lisa here with the movie extras fact. Now, while Independence Day's visual effects are littered with CGI, one of its more compelling scenes is a scene in which the aliens set fire to New York. Unlike the rest of the visual effects in the movie, that fire was real. The production team built a model city on a soundstage, installed pyrotechnics underneath, and flipped the city sideways while they lit it on fire. Now, click here below to subscribe and remember to tap the bell to always receive our videos in your feed.